Yesterday, I was teaching a workshop and I completely forgot to press the record button.
Like it was too late,
Well, so I'm teaching a self-publishing workshop and I had given people homework. So we were going over the homework and the conversation lasted like an hour.
Oh my.
And then, but I did record the presentation. I just didn't get a chance to record the conversation about the homework.
Right. Yeah, I have been getting in the habit of like, okay, it's the first thing to do, so I don't forget. It's
I was
easy.
just
It's
like so
super
mad
easy to forget.
because everybody, people who didn't show up missed the homework conversation. So many people have already registered for the workshop and they haven't signed in. I'm going to ask them, what's the holdup? Once they register at 10:30, why are you coming late? What did everyone do this weekend? I know it's Sunday, but so much stuff going on. Did anyone do anything fun or is going to do later?
I rested, honestly. I mean, I've been all over the place with my health, but mainly just rested, watched movies, took it easy this weekend. I did go to the park, get some sun and move around.
Okay.
Yes, how's everyone else's Friday and Saturday?
I've had to say I've had a little bit too much fun this weekend. I'm kind of in that stage where all of my friends are like in relationships and I'm still single. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like get myself out there, be uncomfortable. So I set myself up. I went to the bars and it was so funny because I'm like, I don't know what to do in a bar. So I literally pulled out a book and started reading in the middle of the bar and I was just minding my own business and I started meeting people from there because they were like, what is this girl doing? And that was my weekend.
And of course, a book in a bar is gonna pull attention.
Yes. And it
You
was,
pulled out a book in a bar.
yes. And it's funny
That's
because
awesome.
it was
So how many numbers do you end up getting?
I ended up getting two, so I'm very proud. It went from 0 to 2, so that's great.
Okay. So you found your trick. Okay, now you're just bringing books to the bar.
Yep, you gotta do
It's
what
a
you gotta do.
move. I love that. I feel like that's something I would do. Like if I was single too, like I'd probably have a book on deck all the time and just like order, some
Yeah,
mimosas or whatever and sit
ex
in a corner.
exactly, because I was just so uncomfortable. I needed a little bit of something that would bring me comfort in an environment of like that I'm not used to, and it worked, and it was great, and now we're here.
So what was the book?
So it was Agridulce because I had,
Oh,
yes, like my first Dominican Writers workshop was Diana's workshop. So I was like, I need to read more. So
Oh,
I'm like over here with this book. I am like mutilating it because I like relate so much to this. I'm like taking a picture of this, I'm taking a picture of that, and it was great.
That makes me so happy, honestly. That's dope. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying it and, taking it to the bar with you.
Beautiful. Now
Thank
you get to write, want to pick up a guy at a bar? Bring this book with you.
All
Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good story. I love it.
Who's going to top that story? Nobody can top Jennifer's story? Bueno.
Seems not. Seems Jennifer won the round. But welcome to everyone else that's coming in. I see Eduardo and Ra and Jari and Gloria. Welcome back, Gloria. I love it that you're here.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Hello, familia. Hello.
Hi,
Happy
Gloria.
Sunday.
Hope everyone is feeling well.
Gloria, you have a lot of stuff going on in your neighborhood this month.
We do. Tomorrow night, I would love, there's an open mic at Boonies. And, I was really surprised. They have really grown their audience. I did it, they do it the first Tuesday of each month. So tomorrow night, come through, people.
I have a Dominican artist mixer at Cañabe tomorrow.
Oh, send that to me.
It's at 7 p.m.
Okay.
I mean, but you're going to your open mic, girl, so go do your open mic.
Now I have to choose. I love having choices.
For those folks who haven't gone to see Bees and Honey, stop playing yourself and go watch it. If you are in New York City, we have offered tons of discount codes for you guys to save your money and not have to pay $70 to go see this Dominican play. And it's a Dominican American play. Okay, it is not your typical older generation play where they're just talking about politics and Trujillo and whatnot, because I get tired of those. But it's a Dominican American play about a couple who lives on Dykeman and they're in love and what they go through in their relationship, and is love enough to keep them together. It's a beautiful play.
I've seen that it's really being promoted on my Facebook page. It looks really interesting. I'd love to go see it. And I just want to correct myself. The open mic is Tuesday. So if the event is tomorrow, I can make both.
Good.
Nice. Yeah, I think they are trying to promote more Latino voices up in this area, and we need it because, my neighborhood, we're 70%, Latino up here.
Yeah. But Booney has always been like that.
Yeah.
They're very community oriented.
They are. It used to be Darlings, and they were not as community oriented. So I've seen the change within them. And I was really impressed last month at Boonies that there was a lot of representation from people of color.
But it's not the same audience as the previous coffee shop.
Yeah.
It's a different owner.
Well, they're immigrants too, so it does make a difference. It really does.
Okay, Diana, whenever you want to start, I see that people want to get here late.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're welcome.
Started. Yeah, I love me an intimate workshop. Everybody gets enough time to share, their writing. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Some of you, I think, already took the time to answer the questions, but I'm gonna get started, and you can still do so. Share your name, your location, your social media at least, and answer one of the questions if you like to. But yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. Majority of you already know me, but I'll go ahead and do a quick intro anyways. Dhayana Alejandrina, poet, storyteller, essayist, and a writing mentor from Santo Domingo, Dominican.
Up here.
Yeah. But Booney has always been like that.
Yeah,
They're very community oriented.
they are. It used to be Darlings, and they were not as community oriented. So I've seen the change within them, and I was really impressed. Last month at Boonies, that there was a lot of representation from people of color.
But it's not the same
BIPOC.
audience as the previous coffee shop.
Yeah,
It's a different owner.
they're immigrants too, so it does make a difference. It really does.
Okay, Diana, whenever you want to start, I see that people want to get here late.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're
Let's get
welcome to
started. Yeah, I love me an intimate workshop, you know, everybody gets enough time to share, you know, their writing. So welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Some of you I think already took the time to answer the questions, but I'm gonna get started and you can still do so. Share your name, your location, your social media at least, and answer one of the questions if you like to. But yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. Majority of you already know me, but I'll go ahead and do a quick intro anyways. Yeah, Dhayana Alejandrina, poet, storyteller, essayist, and a writing mentor from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. I love doing workshops that are focused on creative writing, healing, wellness, just creating a space for all of us to feel safe with our emotions, to talk about our stories, to really just submerge into our writing and not feel any taboo or any restrictions or limitations. Published my first book, Agridulce, in 2001, poetry and prose, and I am currently working on my second one, so I'm really excited about that one as well. And yeah, I'm gonna just jump right into it so we have time to write and we have time to engage. So I always start with a little bit of, you know, history of storytelling as a creative expression, just something light. Our relationship with storytelling. So storytelling is important because stories have transformative power, right? They provide us and others with the opportunity to see the world in different ways. And we see this when we interact with people, when we meet people, when they're telling us their stories, and we're learning more about what they've been through and how it relates to our own. Stories also challenge our knowledge and experiences, making us reconsider our values and opinions, right? So even if it's just a small conversation, we're still learning something from somebody else. We're still just gaining a little more knowledge into what it is that they experience, how it relates to our stories. And it gives us the opportunity to just, all right, maybe it is different. Maybe I can think about this a different way. And so stories really have a lot of transformative power and are a gateway to allow us to learn, right? So different forms of creative expression include sculpting, dancing, singing, painting, writing, planting, visual art, photography. There's just so many ways for us to express, you know, our creativity in the world, which is a beautiful thing to do. And the question that I have, if anyone wants to answer, I'll take two, is why is telling your story important to you? And how do you preserve these stories? If I have any takers to tell me why telling your story is important. Go ahead, Gloria. I think I saw you raise your hand.
I did raise my hand, and this is actually a great question because it's something that I feel like I've been struggling with. I asked myself, why do I want to keep writing? Why do I always want to go back and tell the story about growing up Chicana in California? It's to make sense of the world. For me, to make sense of the world and how I grew up, but also to name things and to make sense of my family, because on my mother's side, we are several generations in, but we come from farm workers. You know, we come from farm workers, Spanish-speaking communities that were oppressed. And so, yeah, I write to make sense of the world and to add my voice.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. I always love listening to your answers. I hope you know that. Every time that you come in, I'm like, yes, Gloria. But thank you for sharing that. And Eduardo, go ahead.
Yeah, Gloria said it, but like to piggyback off of that, we are creative people. We are an entrepreneurial people, and we haven't always had the time, the space, or the ability to share what we've learned as a form of survival. And so what I really like about storytelling is that the people who came before us really were educating us on how to be. They were our therapists, they were our teachers, they were our mentors. And even when there's stories of how they failed, even that has a lesson behind it. So the reason why I'm very much into sharing what I've seen growing up is because it is indeed the human condition. And to push it further into like a more political stance, I genuinely believe that one of the ways that capitalism is most insidious is by forcing people to choose between survival and creation. And the problem is that people cannot be romantic or good parents or good lovers if they are in a perpetual state of survival. You can pour out of nothing, out of a cup that's empty. And I've noticed it with my parents and with a lot of resentment that I had for them for not being perfect, right up until the point that it happened to me. And I realized that, wow, it didn't matter that I was college educated and empathetic and sensual and outgoing. As soon as I was in this point where I needed to provide and survive, all of that went out the window. Even my deep beliefs that I would ever have time and space to be an artist. And spaces like this give us a community, which I appreciate, Dominican Writers Association, specifically because it is an act of resistance. So I could keep going, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's very much what we need right now more than anything.
Yes. I definitely could go on and just killed everything you said because it's so important. And I just want to briefly mention, I'm working on an article and I interviewed this girl yesterday. She's Dominican, she's an immigrant. She moved when she was 15. I moved to the United States when I was 13. We both didn't speak a word of English, but she said something you mentioned. She said, we're constantly in survival mode, which I was too. And so my parents, she said, it felt like for them to show love was a lack of authority. So they never really did, and I could unpack so much, but just let me tell you, I'm seeing a lot of similarities in our stories, especially that a lot of us are creative and that a lot of us are into social work careers,
Yes, we are.
counseling careers, human resource careers, and I'm just in awe. I'm a human resource and business, but I write and then I do. So thank you for that answer because
Absolutely.
we just need a discussion. I might just create a discussion panel.
Let me
unpack this.
You're on point, Eduardo. Great answer. So true.
Let me just say one more. Men, as everybody in this room knows, I'm writing about masculinity. Men are desperately seeking the space and the time to say how truly difficult it is for them to be them, because men's world is one of survival. And I genuinely believe that if more men had the space and the platform in order to say what happened to them, not only would we heal the world, but like capitalism would be taken down overnight. But of course, yeah.
Hey, we start somewhere. So keep at it with what you're doing, with what all of us are doing, because it all aligns. Start somewhere. So thank you for that beautiful answer. I'm gonna jump right into the writing. So as some of you know, I love meditations and visualization. So that's where we're gonna start today. Okay. But I want to read this quote as one of my favorites. So the importance of storytelling is to connect us together. It is one of the primary building blocks of civilization. Everything that is important to us as species has been contained in stories. All right. If you like it, take a picture. Let me know. I'll send it. But it's definitely hands down one of my favorite quotes. So we're going to start with see it. For this, you can turn off your camera if you want to. It's going to be a quick visualization. I'm going to turn my camera off as well. Let me see how I do that. And let me know quickly if you can hear the sound.
Yes.
Okay, let me turn it down. Is that too loud or is that okay?
It's a little low for me right now.
Okay. It's not playing. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't too loud. I'm about to play it. All right. So close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to relax and become fully present in the moment. As you continue to breathe deeply, envision yourself in a peaceful and serene location in nature. It could be a beautiful beach, a forest, or a vibrant garden. Choose a setting that resonates with you. Now, as you immerse yourself in this natural environment, become aware of your sense of sight. Slowly, let your vision come alive. Picture the surrounding in vivid detail. Notice the colors, the rich greens on the leaves, the vibrant hues of the flowers, or the shimmering blues of the water. Pay attention to the play of light and shadows. Observe how the sun rays filter through the trees, creating intricate patterns on the ground. Allow yourself to appreciate the beauty of the interplay between light and darkness, and how it makes you feel. It adds depth and dimension to the scene. Now shift your focus to the small details. Observe the delicate petals of a flower, the patterns of a butterfly wings, the glistening droplets of dew on a leaf. Notice the texture, the roughness of a tree bark, the softness of petals, or the smoothness of a pebble. Take a moment to look up and gaze at the sky. Observe the movement of the clouds, whether they are fluffy or white. Do they have shades of pink and orange during the sunset? Allow yourself to be captivated by the vastness of the sky. How does it make you feel? Just take it all in. As you continue to explore your surroundings, connect with the emotions and memories that these visuals evoke. Allow the sight to stir feelings of peace, joy, and awe, or any other emotions that arise naturally. When you're ready, gently bring back yourself to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath. Slowly open your eyes and allow the imagery to linger in your mind, carrying the visual, the serenity, and the beauty. Okay, hope everyone is feeling good. I'm gonna go right into, let me turn my camera on. I'm gonna go right into our first activity. I want you to really keep in mind the visualization, what you picture, okay? This is gonna be our first activity and it's going to be 20 minutes. So I want you to take a few moments to recall the visualization we just did and allow the imagery and sensation to come back to you. And as you feel connected, I want you to look around your room or the area that you're in and take in the details of your surroundings, okay? I want you to imagine that your current location or room has transformed into the scene from the visualization, okay? I want you to envision the nature elements, the colors, textures, the light, the shadows, blending with the familiar objects or features of your space. And then we're going to write a descriptive passage that captures the fusion of your current location or room with what came up with the visualization, what you were imagining, right? And I want you to use sensory language to bring the scene to life, to describe the colors, the textures, the light, everything. And as you write, of course, just allow your imagination to roar. Don't feel limited. Get creative, even if something sounds silly. What did that space really felt like, seem like to you? I want you to focus on what it looks like, the colors, the details. And then I want you to reflect on the emotions and sensations, that arise throughout your writing. How does this transform your space and make you feel? What memories or experiences does it bring to mind? And I want you to just embrace it, okay? You're welcome to turn your camera off if you want to as you write. I'm going to set up a timer for 20 minutes. Then I'm going to come back and I'll take 2 people to share their writing, or 3, depending on the time. Yeah, happy writing. I'll see you guys in a few. We have about 2 minutes. Okay, if you want to slowly start wrapping up your writing, then we have a couple minutes to share. If you would like to share what you wrote. If you're willing to, just put your little, raise your hand, and I'll call you, I'll call your name. Ooh, Eduardo, I see what you sent. About to read it. Do you want to read it, or you want us just to read it on the chat?
I don't mind reading it. Up the mountain, the canopy of green hangs high, cradling us from the elements, all the while hinting at the stars above. The tropical birds with whom we shared the land are now gone, and with them so is their distant cry. And in the moment, too soon, we are truly alone. The advantage then is the rain, fall in the way that we fall into life itself, with wild abandon, and the cacophony that blurs the senses. And in every leaf is a percussion instrument, heavy. I remember the same in my childhood home in Santo Domingo, with the zinc roof too vulnerable for storms that would come, and yet they clung, and yet they sang. Noise to song feels like a song to others.
Ah, so beautiful. You got me with the zinc roof. So small. It may seem so small, but yeah, every time it rained, it felt like to me the world was falling apart. Like just such a strong sound, but unique, right? Things that we remember. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Wow, loved it. Anyone else that would like to share their writing before, or even just, briefly say how it made you feel if you don't necessarily want to read your piece?
Hi, I'll read. Since
Okay.
this has been the year that I've been challenging myself to read. But I am protected, a baby bird maybe, surrounded by lush greenness. All around me I am protected. Lushness of emeralds that shimmer. Each leaf is vibrant, pulsating with prana. The energy of the sun shines. It's a canopy of richness, vibrant coolness. I am protected by the power of nature, a baby bird maybe, ready to leave the nest, but not quite prepared. All around me, green pulsates, keeping rhythm with my heart. An invisible connection, an injection connected to my arm. I am being infused with life-saving sunshine. The DNA of my ancestors who walked, maybe barefooted, on a span of leafy green carpets. Ancestors who knew the power of plants. Ancestors who performed cleansing rituals under a loving luna, chanting and singing words no longer spoken, singing songs of healing into the four corners, to be carried by Oya, to support others like myself, young birds in their nests, protected in the coolness of vibrant emerald greenness. I am blessed to be alive, to feel the energies of nature running in my veins, detoxifying my blood, cleansing the impurities of Western culture that cried manifest destiny, while setting fire to my homelands, to depossess others like myself, connected to La Tierra, connected to ancestors, connected to spirit world. So I rest.
Gloria, yes. Chills. So many beautiful lines and illustrations, deep. Oh, I love it. I love to write about nature, guys. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm literally like all about it. I find it so beautiful, the duality, the lessons, everything that we can learn. And so I love everything you guys have written down. I love that you have connected with this activity the way you did. Ooh, thank you so much for sharing that, Gloria. I'll take one more person. If not, I'll move forward to our next one. No. Okay. Since I can see no one else wants to share, that's fine, no problem. The next activity, I want you to take a picture of these questions or write them down. These are going to be your guiding questions. What captured my attention first? What is this image trying to communicate? Are there any hidden messages? What will be the title of this image? To write a paragraph or two based on the title. You can write in whatever form you want. A poem, a prose, a letter, short, tiny story, or even a quote or a thought. So this is what I call like a writing sprint. It's only gonna be 10 minutes, right? And it helps us like build momentum and get in the flow and a flowing state, right? So it's easier to write. So just let me know when you have your questions. You can unmute yourself, say good, good, yes, yes, and then I'll move forward to the image. I see a couple hands up, ready. I'll give it another minute. Okay. Hopefully almost everyone got them down. All right, so I'm gonna move to the images, right? 10 minutes, right, to help us with momentum and getting in the flow of writing quickly, right? So these are the two images that we're gonna use, okay? The reason why I really wanted to do this, because I am very intentional. There are a lot of calls, like submission calls out there. They're based on art, right? And I myself haven't done it, but it's on my to-do list, you know, where they put a whole bunch of different arts and they're calling for writers to write a poem, to write a piece, that describes the art and submit, you know, and potentially have it shown with the piece. So take this as your practice. I'll go ahead and start the timer now. We are in the 2-minute mark. We have about 30 seconds left if you want to start wrapping up your writing. All right, how does everyone feel with this activity? And who's going to be one that shares?
I can share. It took a lot of twists and turns, but here's what I came up with at the end. I ended up focusing more on like the image where it's like the head statue with a bunch of little things in it, and here's what I wrote. Here's a letter of gratitude to all the things that try to break me but couldn't. To all the thoughts that bring me both pain and joy. My head is a constant battlefield, a duality where I grieve who I was versus who I need to become in order to thrive. But the love is still there, the passion is still there, and I will break the shackles and continue trailblazing.
Oh, yes. Power, power, power. I love it. How does that make you feel? Was this like challenging, like having to write in a short amount of time, or
I like the short amount of time. I kind of work well under pressure. The one challenging thing about it was like I thought I was gonna go one way, but then I would look at the image and I'm like, no, no, Jennifer, this is saying something else. So it took a lot of twists and turns, but overall I loved it. It was amazing.
Awesome, good, good. I'm reading that. Is it my Cherish? Am I saying your name right? Sorry, I should have said something like you didn't have to answer to all of the questions. You could have just picked one. So sorry if it wasn't like enough time, or maybe you felt like you needed to answer all of them. But yeah, if you want to share, you're more than welcome to, or anyone else who would like to read their piece or even just discuss how it made you feel.
I can share. I went into a lot of detail on question 2, and
Okay.
I think it's someone who may have faced discrimination and felt really low about it and/or has overcome adversity. And I basically went into like why I thought that with the different images that are there. So the first one was that there's the 2 hand images, and the one on the bottom, it looks like someone consoling someone else, whereas the one towards the top, it looks like they're leading them, or they might be equals, like more on equal footing there. And it also looks like one of them is like in the second image, or on the one close to the top, it looks like one is bigger than the other. So like maybe it could be a man or a woman, but it could also be like a parent and a child, since there's a size difference. And then for 2, there's what I interpret for me as being like an eviction notice. So maybe they're like in a really bad financial situation at one point, but there's also a gay flag, and there's an image that represents breaking the chain, excuse me. And then there's also one that has an Advil, which to me, with everything else, I think of as there being being representative of them having like a weight on them or having like a weight on their chest, especially since in the breaking the chains one, it's also like a weight, if that makes sense.
Oh,
So I
yes,
just ended up
yes,
going into a lot
absolutely.
of detail with that part.
I love that very much because there's so much going on, really is. And all of us, we may look at these pictures and think something completely different, right? So that's just the beauty of being able to look at it from our perspective and share our perspective of how it makes us feel and what we see. So thank you so much for pointing out all of those details. I appreciate it. Thank you. I think who has Gloria?
I'm not going to read anything, but the second one really reminded me of Picasso. And I don't know if it's one of his paintings, but it reminded me about Picasso. I used to date an artist, and so I learned about all these different artists. But like with some of these men, there's geniuses, and they have these women who cater to them. And Picasso is one of them, where he had women and how they dismantle women. Women who try to please him and support him. So how he had dismantled her and then put her back together, distorted. And you could see the tears there and the grief in her face. So, yeah, that
You're
was
correct.
Yeah,
It is. I picked it. So I have a little descriptions here. So
okay.
the one to the left right here is actually an image from New York Times article representing Angie Screw's novel, How to Not Drown in a Glass of Water. And I found it and I was like, perfect, I'm going to use it. And the next one is, Picasso. So you're completely right. I was like, this is perfect, gives it a different kind of art, right? Like illustration. So I'm going to use it. So you're right, Lydia. Does anyone else want to share what they wrote? Or are you ready? Because I know it's 12 to move with our next activity. Okay, if I don't see any hands up or anything, I'll take that as a move forward, Diana. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. We have another visualization, guys, so we're gonna get right into it. And we're going to feel it. And I'm gonna jump right into visualization so you can turn your camera off. Again, just relax. Really pay attention to what you're visualizing, okay? This is really important. Even if when you're done, you write down something right away. I just want you to really feel it and remember what it is you're envisioning, right? You're looking at, you're feeling. So let's focus on that. I want you to find a comfortable posture or position to relax and close your eyes. I want you to take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to settle into a calm state. As you breathe, let go of any tension or distraction and focus your attention inward. Now, imagine yourself again in a natural setting of your choice. A beach, a forest, a meadow, or any place that resonates with you and your story. I want you to picture the details of this environment. Once again, thinking of the colors, the textures, and the elements that make it come alive in your mind. Begin to tune into your sense of touch. Feel the ground beneath your feet, whether it is soft sand, cool grass, or the firmness of a trail. Notice how your body connects with the earth, grounding you in the present moment. I want you to extend your awareness to the air around you. Feel the gentle caress of the breeze against your skin. Does it feel warm or cool? How does it make you feel? Allow the sensation of the breeze to envelop you, bringing a sense of freshness and renewal. And really, really take it in. As you continue to explore this environment, become aware of any objects or surfaces that come across. Reach out and touch them in your mind. Feel their softness, the roughness, or the coolness of it. Really allow yourself to feel it and engage your senses fully. Now, I want you to shift your attention to your own body, to feel the sensations within you, the rise and fall of your breath, the beating of your heart, the gentle warmth flowing through your veins. Observe any physical sensations or feelings of relaxation as they arise and welcome them with grace. Take a moment to notice any emotional responses that you're feeling in the environment around you. Are you experiencing a sense of calm, joy, peacefulness, confusion, sadness? Embrace and allow these emotions to flow through you, enhancing your connection with the surroundings. When you feel ready, I want you to slowly open your eyes and bring yourself back to the moment. You take one deep breath in, hold it, and out. Okay. Hope that felt good. You bring yourself back. We are going to, I'm trying to turn my camera on. Here we go. Now this one is a little more heavy, a little more detailed, a little more profound than the first one. You don't have to do all of them. You just pick one and you focus on it. I'll try to briefly read the instructions. So the sensory description, you write a descriptive passage or create a story, a sensory poem that captures the sensations and feelings you experience during the visualization, using vivid language again, temperature, texture, environment, as well as the emotions that arose. Allow your words to paint a picture for the reader, right? We often tend to not do that, to leave out details. Like the flower is beautiful, but what did the flower look like? What are the colors of the flower, the shape of the flower, what was around the flower? Emotional connections. I want you to explore the emotional responses evoked by the sensory immersion and to reflect on how these sensations, the sensations you feel influence your overall emotional state. And there's some questions there as well. I'm going to leave this up. Symbolic and interpretation. Consider the deeper symbolism of these stories, of the sensory experience. What meaning or message may be hidden within the tactile sensations. I want you to explore the environment and sensations that you felt and what they may symbolize of the inner self or personal journey. And extending sensory awareness is reflecting on how you can bring the heightened awareness of your senses into your everyday life. And there's some questions there to guide you as well. And then the last one is gratitude and integration. And this one is to conclude your writing by expressing gratitude for the sensory experience and its impact on your well-being. Again, I'm gonna leave this up. Can I look at the time and give us 15, well, just to, let's see, give enough time to share. I'll do 12 minutes so we have some time, but please take a picture of it so you can, you know, work on it on your own. And I'll start the timer now. That way we have some time to share. Happy writing. We have about 2 minutes left. All right, we have about 20 seconds. If you want to start wrapping up your last couple of lines, gather yourself, think a little bit about the activity. And once again, you're welcome to share your piece or just share your thoughts. I also have another like picture prompt, but you guys can let me know because I know we're like close to time. But if everyone wants to stay and do the last one, I absolutely wouldn't mind.
I just shared mine, but and I'll read it real quick.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So, inhale. She's a clean slate, washing my thoughts to the flight of the wind, which may never come back again. But she always does, back and forth, rocking the boat of my heart, swaying to the rhythm of my soul, mama, so powerful. I feel the wet grains of your hands beneath my feet, sinking me sweetly. I feel as though I am the hourglass of infinity when your arms kiss mine, cold as a bird's wings. I feel as clean as I can ever be, remembering, remembering. I hear my grandmother's warming hum, though they never told me she could sing. And I'm rushed with tears as my soul rolls with spirits inside of me, remembering, remembering their lives in my bones, in the grains, through my pores, through the waves. I miss you, though you are me. Exhale.
So beautiful. You know, I
Thank
love
you.
your writing, period, but like fire. Especially the remembering, and the pause. Just chef's kiss. Thank you, Raw. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my. I need all y'all to just have books Like, what y'all waiting for? Publish the damn collection. Because everything you guys are sharing are beautiful. It's just beautiful. Anyone else that wants to share or just express how it made you feel? I know this was a bit long, but I hope you guys took a picture of it. This is definitely a great activity to do on your own, at the beach, at the park. But yeah, if no one else wants to share or anything like that, I think I see a hand Eduardo. Go ahead, Eduardo.
You got it. Would you find it weird if I wrote you a poem? I asked, as if I hadn't already began. No, I wouldn't find it weird if you wrote me a poem, she answered. And our fingers began having a conversation of their own, inching closer, reaching the chasm between our parts. She made the first move. She's always been the brave one, not so much consciously straddling me, but breaking upwards and letting gravity do the rest. A bravely jump and a surrendering to the atmosphere of me, willing to burn in the entry, willing to explode if needed, willing to die. And I was there to catch her, of course. I needed her to know that I would be there to catch her. And her gray hair shot across my eyes like shooting stars, and the lens of her breast enveloped me, and the sea of her was everywhere. And I remember people telling me that I should never drink seawater, but in this moment, I couldn't help but to. And I looked at her eyes shut, and her mouth wide open. And I asked, "What do you see?" And she said, "You, out in a distant shore. Wait for me. I'm coming." Wink, 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 wink.
Did you say wait?
No, I'm done. I said,
Okay. I was like, wait, there's some more. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack. It's so good. Wow. I closed my eyes and it felt even, wow, like more different, more powerful. You guys, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing. I definitely would love to see that poem in writing too. Thank you so much, Eduardo. Once again, your writing does not disappoint either. Like, everyone's writing is beautiful. I'm really grateful for everyone to really have allowed yourself, to be guided by me. It's always an honor to these visualizations. I try to make it different, not just all pictures. So I'm really happy to see you guys welcome that and really allow yourself to write. Okay, does anyone else would like to share? I know it's almost time, but I'm sure it'll be okay if we do the last picture prompt. I'll challenge you guys and make it like 5 minutes each, see what you can come up with. But does anyone else want to share?
I'll share.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gave me another way to look at a memory. So, I am the tropical blue waters. I am the Sea of Cortez expanding and pulling back waves upon waves. I am the tides keeping time with La Luna. I am the ocean tickling the toes of a baby girl. I am the Sea of Cortez that carried Spaniards to the New World. I am the salt commingling with tropical blue waters. I am the seagulls flying overhead, shrieking loudly into the winds. I am the fisherman on a small fishing boat that bobs gently on the waves. I am the baby white sharks that swim in salt-rich tropical warmth. I am the little brown, olive yellow child watching from the shores. I am the sand under her feet that embrace and let go. I am the winds, warm, with whispers of adventure and richness that kiss the skin of the little brown, olive yellow girl as she watches her father fish for baby white sharks.
Definitely felt that. The sweetness and how you just read it. I love it, Gloria. I love that you're reading them more too. You say you wanted to read more. Here we are. Yes. Yes. I love it. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your poetry. Okay. If everyone, I don't know if anyone else wants to go. Last question. Anyone wants to go? But if everyone is going to stay, I'll go ahead and do the last picture prompt, if that's okay with Angie. I'll kind of
Yes,
just
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll challenge y'all to do it in a shorter time, so maybe 6 minutes each picture. See what that creates. But again, here are the guiding questions. Only 2. What emotions, or thoughts do this image bring forward? I want you to name the emotions and be detailed if you want to actually describe them. Does it reflect a part of my story or someone else's? I want you to be creative and descriptive always. Let's take advantage of actually describing, right? What is making us feel, what is making us think of, is any colors that really take presence within our thoughts when we're looking at these images. So yeah, write this down, take a picture real quick, and then I'll move to the first image, give it 6 minutes, and then the next. All right, maybe everyone got those questions down. I will, and if you didn't, just unmute yourself and say, girl, go back. And I'll go back. But here's the first image. I resonated with it a lot and it's very nostalgic, but yeah, just hop at it. 6 minutes, guys. Show me what you got. I'm gonna start the timer now. Happy writing. We are at 1:30. Thirty seconds left. I'm gonna start wrapping up your sentences. All right, we're at time. Oh man, I'm looking forward to see what you guys came up with.
I can share, or are we gonna do
Mhm.
the other image for?
Oh no, go ahead and share and then we'll do the next one.
So I wrote, embrace me with all your strengths. Today, we not only open up our hands, we open up our hearts. We share the same scar. I know your hands cracked and your eyes shed tears. I know you worked hard to protect me, to save me, yet I still suffer the same cut you did. So hold my hands as we heal from the same heartbreak.
Yes, short to the point, powerful, and gratitude. I love that. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing. Ooh, anyone else wants to share their piece? I know this was definitely a writing sprint, 6 minutes, but it really does help us not feel stuck with our writing, and the momentum always coming. Yeah, I'll open up the space to one more person, at least two if you really want to, and then I'll move on to the next image. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, maybe I'll move to the next image then, if no one else would share. And thank you, Gloria. Okay, so the next image is this one. Definitely found it and was like, yeah, I actually wrote to it, but I hope something comes out of it for y'all. I'll set up the timer again, 6 minutes, and let me know what happens, what you guys see, what you guys feel with this image. 2 minutes. All right, guys. You want to wrap up your sentence? Now we'll open up the floor again for someone who wants to close the workshop and maybe share what he wrote. Bye, Eduardo. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's see. So yeah, if anyone wants to share, again, this is the end of the workshop. You can, you don't have to.
I've been quiet today.
Say what?
I've been quiet today, so I'll read.
Okay.
Can't find the icon. Hold on. Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Yes, I've been busy organizing my files because I am like, so hard to find anything. And also because I've written enough now of my memoirs, which is going to be titled Chiquilla.
Oh, love it.
Right. So I want to put all what I've written together to see what I have and what I may be missing. Okay. So okay. So the prompt is to write to the image provided. Wow, what is this? It looks like a singed pages. It looks like the singed pages of a book burned in the middle. But it also looks like the V on a woman's blouse, like cleavage, but without any mountainous flesh trembling like gel, soft, inviting to the eye and to the touch. A thin line of burn proceeds down the front of the woman's blouse. Alongside the alluded, a lot of type too small for me to read. The copy is ragged on the right side. Perhaps all the type signifies that 25% of anything that is written is female related. Wow, that is 25%. We should feel honored and elated. But half of that is about what a woman is not and what she ought to be in order to satisfy the male palate. The other half is about rarely it is it's about what she needs, like fair wage, like paid housework, like a zillion other things. That's it.
Thank you, Rosita. Thank you. Yeah, I missed your voice. I was like, I know she's here. Thank you so much for sharing your piece and how you view this image, you know, like a blouse and the V. You know, it's a very unique perspective. And I couldn't stop looking at it that way whenever you mentioned it. I'm like, okay, now this is what I see. But thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Do I have anyone else that wants to share before we conclude the workshop? Seems like a no. Seems like a no. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here today, for writing with me, for immersing yourself into my visualizations and just allowing yourself to write freely, to feel freely, to see freely. I'm always grateful. Oh, was somebody saying something? Sorry, I heard a noise. You want to interrupt? But yeah, just thank you so much to everyone. Always appreciate you all. And thank you, Angie.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Diana,
Diana.
you were with us a month ago. That was great that you'd be coming back.
Yes,
Yes.
Diana's here once a month.
Nice. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
good.
Always a lovely
Absolutely.
workshop.
Thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
Thank you, everybody. If you want a recording of the workshop, just email me and we'll send it to you. But otherwise, we just upload these unlisted on our YouTube account.
Awesome. Bye, guys. Have a beautiful day.
Enjoy the rest
Bye.
of your Sunday, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.